by J.J. Watt.
Here comes Watt. J.J. with the sack. 2 sacks.
J. Watt.
And another big play by the big man from Wisconsin.
J.J. Watt.
Football knocked loose by J.J. Watt.
That was tripped up by J.J. Watt.
Has him down for a sack. J.J. does it.
Did you know that J.J. Watt, one of the most feared defenders in NFL history, was once told he'd never make it as a Division I football player? He was rated just a 2-star recruit coming out of high school, with most major programs completely overlooking him. So how did this underestimated kid from Wisconsin become a 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year and one of the highest paid defensive players in league history? The answer might surprise you, and it's a story that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about talent and potential. J.J. Watt's high school career at Pewaukee High School in Wisconsin was incredible. He dominated as both a tight end and defensive end, putting up big numbers on both sides of the ball. In his senior year, Watt caught 27 passes for 539 yards and 5 touchdowns, while racking up 97 tackles and 11.5 sacks on defense. Despite his on-field success, Watt's national recruitment ranking didn't match his production. He was rated as a 2-star recruit by most scouting services, which meant many major college programs overlooked him. Watt earned local recognition as the Woodland Conference Player of the Year and first-team All-State, but these honors didn't translate to widespread interest from Division I schools. With limited options, Watt committed to Central Michigan University. He arrived ready to prove himself, but found himself playing tight end, a position that didn't showcase his full talents. Watt saw little playing time in his freshman year, catching just 8 passes for 77 yards. As the season went on, Watt felt his football dream slipping away. He wasn't making the impact he knew he was capable of, and the path to the NFL seemed to be getting longer and more uncertain. That's when Watt made a bold decision. He chose to leave Central Michigan and walk on at the University of Wisconsin. This meant giving up his scholarship and facing financial uncertainty. There was no guarantee he'd even make the team, let alone earn playing time or a scholarship down the road. When Watt arrived at Wisconsin, he faced a tough road ahead. He had no scholarship and plenty of doubters. But over the next 2 years, he transformed into one of college football's most feared defensive players. Watt's journey as a walk-on was grueling. He and his family made huge sacrifices to keep his football dream alive. With no scholarship, Watt had to get creative to cover expenses. He juggled classes, practice, and a part-time job to make ends meet. On the practice field, Watt was relentless. He threw himself into the scout team, determined to catch the coach's eyes. His hard work paid off when he was named Wisconsin's scout team Player of the Year during his redshirt season. Then Watt made a bold move, switching from tight end to defensive end. He hit the weight room hard, packing on muscle for his new role in the trenches. He spent hours studying film and perfecting his technique. The results were impressive. In 2 seasons as a defensive end, Watt racked up 106 tackles, 36.5 tackles for loss, and 11.5 sacks. His coaches were amazed by how quickly he improved. Watt's performances earned him a scholarship and a starring role on Wisconsin's defense. By his final season, he was an All-American and won the Defensive Impact Player of the Year award. The once overlooked walk-on had become a college football star. Watt's journey at Wisconsin was complete, and he was ready to take on the NFL. His transformation showed that with enough grit and hard work, even the longest odds could be beaten. J.J. Watt's journey to the NFL draft was marked by his impressive showing at the NFL Combine. His standout performances, especially in the vertical leap and bench press, caught the attention of scouts and executives. Watt's athleticism was on full display, and his draft stock quickly rose as a result. As draft day approached, Watt felt a mix of emotions. He reflected on his journey from delivering pizzas to being on the cusp of an NFL career. The pressure of potentially being a high draft pick weighed on him, but he was eager to prove himself at the next level. The Houston Texans selected Watt with the 11th overall pick, making him the first defensive end taken off the board. The Texans front office saw something special in Watt, valuing his versatility and work ethic. They believed he could make an immediate impact on their struggling defense. Reactions from NFL analysts were mixed, with some praising the pick, while others questioned if Watt was worth such a high selection. However, the Texans' confidence in Watt was clear, and they had invested heavily in his potential. As Watt prepared for his rookie season, he felt the weight of expectations. The Texans had placed their trust in him, and he was determined to prove they made the right choice. He knew the transition to the NFL would be challenging, but he was ready to face it head on. J.J. Watt's rookie year with the Houston Texans was solid, but it was his second season that really put him on the map. In his first year, Watt started all 16 games and put up decent numbers: 56 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 13 tackles for loss. The Texans made the playoffs for the first time, and that's when Watt showed what he could really do. In the playoff game against the Bengals, Watt exploded. He made 14 tackles, got 3.5 sacks, and even intercepted a pass for a touchdown. It was like a switch flipped, and everyone saw his true potential. That game was a preview of what was to come. Watt trained hard in the offseason, and when 2012 rolled around, he was ready to dominate. He put together one of the best seasons by a defensive player ever. Watt led the league in sacks and tackles for loss, finishing with eye-popping numbers across the board. He wasn't just getting to the quarterback. He was swatting down passes left and right. His incredible 2012 season earned Watt the AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year award, getting 49 out of 50 votes. He was only the 8th defensive end to win it since 1971. What made Watt special was how he could do everything: stop the run, sack the quarterback, and bat down passes. Offenses had to focus on him, often using double or triple teams to try and slow him down. Watt's impact on the Texans defense was massive. He opened up opportunities for his teammates, even when he was getting all that extra attention. His 20.5 sacks set a new franchise record for Houston. By the end of 2012, there was no doubt J.J. Watt had become one of the NFL's most feared defenders, drawing comparisons to all-time greats like Reggie White. Watt's unique blend of power, speed, and technique was changing how teams approached the defensive end position. J.J. Watt's journey from walk-on to NFL star took an even more impressive turn in 2014. That year, Watt showed he could do more than just terrorize quarterbacks. He scored 3 touchdowns, including a pick six and 2 receiving touchdowns, proving he could be a threat on both sides of the ball. The Houston Texans recognized Watt's value and offered him a massive contract extension. It was a 6-year, $100 million deal that made him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL based on average yearly salary. This contract was a big deal for Watt, who had come a long way from his days of delivering pizzas to make ends meet. In 2014, Watt put up another 20.5 sack season, making him the only player in NFL history with 2 20-sack seasons. He also made 78 tackles and led the league with 29 tackles for loss. Even when injuries started to slow him down, Watt kept pushing. In 2015, he led the league again with 17.5 sacks and 29 tackles for loss. Despite not being 100% healthy, he faced some tough times after that, including back surgery and a torn pectoral muscle. But Watt always bounced back, showing why the Texans invested so much in him. Watt's $100 million contract wasn't just about the money. It was a symbol of how far he'd come and how much he meant to the Texans. Even after getting paid, Watt kept pushing himself to be better. He showed that his work ethic and drive to be the best were still as strong as ever, no matter how big his paycheck got. J.J. Watt's career stats are pretty amazing. He racked up 581 total tackles, 112.5 sacks, and 31 forced fumbles over his 12 years in the NFL. With the Houston Texans, Watt became more than just a player. He was the face of the franchise and set team records for sacks, forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries. When you talk about the all-time great defensive players, Watt's name comes up for good reason. He won the AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times, putting him in the same company as Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald. He also made first-team All-Pro and the Pro Bowl 5 times each. Watt retired in 2022, and right away people started talking about the Hall of Fame. His combination of individual awards, statistical dominance, and impact on the game make him a strong candidate for first ballot induction. J.J. Watt's journey from overlooked recruit to NFL superstar is a testament to the power of self-belief and hard work. His motto, "Dream big, work hard," wasn't just talk, it was his way of life. Watt's story shows that with dedication and effort, seemingly impossible goals can become reality. Whether you're aiming for success in sports or any other field, the lessons from Watt's career are clear. Stay focused on your goals, put in the work, and don't let setbacks discourage you. If you want to know how Watt compares to the other legends of the game, be sure to check out our video on Reggie White. To stay updated with our latest content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.